These are the blocks of wood I'm going to use for my side tanks. I've just stuck them together with double-sided tape, and the base is as flat as I can get it. I've marked a line on one of them, just with biro, and if I put it into the bandsaw, it's just the cheapest, smallest bandsaw I can get, but for modelling you don't need anything too flashy, do you? Then hopefully I'll get a nice straight line through there, and the saw line, that I think is the top of the tanks, that's quite smooth. That will give me a nice, I think, more better looking height. It's good, you can just play with things, can't you? And if this wood doesn't work out, just saw up some more pieces of wood. Well, that was slow. Whatever thickness that is at the limit of this blade. Well, it's possibly a function of the size of the teeth and the sharpness of the blade. Anyway, it's through. So I've now got two tanks trimmed to size. I've put a couple of blobs of Yoo-hoo onto the boiler. That's the boiler sleeve that's going to go on top. Not enough Yoo-hoo to hold it irretrievably in place, enough to hold it in place. Experience suggests that a few blobs here and there will hold it, but if I want to prise it off again, I'll be able to get something in there and be able to prise it back out again. So that is just going to slide over, and there's a slot cut into the bottom to miss the bits underneath. If I wasn't so impatient, I should have primed, sealed, sanded and given the wood a few coats of paint before attaching it to the sides there. It just helps me a little bit to blend it all in together to get an impression of what it might look like. I've not got as far as even thinking about a smoke box door. I did come across something previously. That's way too big for a steam dome. Top off a roll-on deodorant or something like that. I need something smaller, because that just looks ridiculously out of proportion. But it does help me see it all blending together, and it's fairly well disguised now. Not really recognisable as the original thing it was. And I've thought about taking the hatch off the roof. Well, the roof will unscrew, and putting a different roof on, because I think that would change it as well. Anyway, that isn't for this session. So fair bit of work in terms of finishing, bodywork finishing. I need something to act as a filler. I've looked at a few circular things. I do have the whistle off the original thing, so I'll have a whistle situated there, a dome of some sort on there, and then the chimney, and that should complete the look of the boiler. I've got to find some buffer beams. Could be the same plastic as used for this, but certainly it needs some buffer beams attaching, and that part filling in the front, but to get the buffer beams on the same height front and back, and it's ready then for any finer detailing. The steps underneath here, handrails at the side there out of some wire, some brass wire, and perhaps a handrail around the front, and maybe some pipe work. The other thing that I've not made provision for is the steam pipe between the boiler and the cylinders in there, and I'll have to think about that. It could be that these steam pipes are internally routed, wouldn't show, or that they would be evident there. And I need to find something to represent the steam pipes if I'm going to do that. So lots of lovely, lovely little bits and pieces. Okay, there it is, beginning to take shape in terms of the overall look and feel of it. A pause in procedures while I think about what I want to do next with this, and also how I improve the finish of my fairly rustic attempts so far. But that's just the loco as it stands now.